Guys, Marsling here bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video. And so the other day I put out this tweet basically checking in on you guys in the community, seeing how many stones everybody has ready for the worldwide download celebration. Obviously for global, the worldwide download celebration is in a very tricky spot because it comes literally a month after the anniversary. The anniversary is usually the big thing that everybody saves up to go ham for. So if you're a newer player, you're free to play, or you're someone who spends a very small amount of money, you probably still go pretty much all in during the anniversary, and then the worldwide download celebration starts a month later. And I can tell, like, from some of these replies, quite a few of you guys did not really hold back at all, and do not have a lot of stones left. So I thought I would make this video talking about how many stones they will actually give out during the worldwide download celebration. Now this is from the start of the celebration, although I think it might include the countdown stuff as well, which I believe is like a week before. So that should actually be starting very, very soon. We might have even had a teaser in the news, because this video is being recorded late in the evening and will go up probably the day after. So there is the potential that some sort of teaser appeared in the news this morning. But yeah, this isn't going to cover anything that comes in between now and then that isn't counted as the worldwide download celebration. So obviously that includes things like the Dragon Ball Super Superhero collab that we saw in the producer letter. That's basically the same thing JP got with the event, where you can get the farmable free-to-play AGL Gohan. You also get like 40 stones on login, so that's a few extra stones to come, but this obviously doesn't include that. So if we go over and take a look on the wiki, basically the only way we can sort of judge how this is going to work is by taking a look at the previous year and seeing what we got last year. So we had a returning campaign. This is the countdown celebration. This starts like a week before, which, as I said, this could literally start like within the next couple of days. So we had a returning campaign, daily login bonus, obviously, and then we had the Hercule special gift login. So it does say here, obviously, the fact that that differs for each player. Now, it was 7 days, so you got 7 logins. If you got super unlucky every single time and you only got the 1 stone, then obviously that would be 7 stones. But you could potentially get, you know, super lucky and get more than that. Like, I think the last time they had this, I think I only got the not the worst one, like once or twice, and it was only the 3 stone one. I don't think I got the maximum one last time at all. So the way this is added up is it shows 35 stones guaranteed, because there's a social media campaign as well, and then of course the 7+, it just depends, right, on your RNG. So 35 stones plus any extra luck that you get if we have the gift thing repeated. Remember, it could be the Hercule one or it could be the Ginyu Force one. They are basically the same thing. So part 1 of the celebration. Now obviously this is the one where the main banners will release. This will be when we get the LR Cooler and LR Goku banners. We still don't know exactly what kind of form they're going to be in yet as the card, but we know it's basically going to be Goku and Cooler. And obviously this is the main part that people are going to want to be summoning on. So the celebration, you have to remember, for the full worldwide download celebration goes on for almost an entire month. So you get a couple of stones for daily login bonus, you get 44 stones, limited missions part 1, 20, and daily missions part 1, 21. So obviously various missions that you can complete every day. Usually those are for using a certain amount of stamina, beating stages a certain number of times, or playing a specific number of stages. Then there's a returning player campaign, which was 15. There's a new boss rush last year, so I imagine we'll see a new boss rush again. Boss rush is just one of those things where it basically is just free stones nowadays, because all Dokkan events are just so easy now. Boss rush used to be a challenging mode back when you might actually have to use an item during a Dokkan Fest event. Therefore, putting 5 of them back to back and only giving you 1 set of items was actually a challenge. But ever since we moved into the era where Dokkan Fest events were just easily beatable with no items, it doesn't matter how many you make us do in one go. With 1 set of items, we're probably still not going to end up using any of them. So basically 35 free stones. Then new stages for 2 Dokkan events. So obviously whether they're new stages added to old ones or new ones introduced themselves, this refers to the Dokkan events for the new cards. So I imagine Cooler will probably be an added stage to the physical one if it is the final form cooler starting straight out, and then the Goku one will either be added to something like the Namek Goku event, or will just be a separate one. They could both just be separate ones, and the reason why you get 4 stones is you obviously get 1 stone for each of the 2 difficulties. Thanks to the new update, you will get both of them by just doing the hardest one anyway, which is the one you want to do because you get 7 medals. So I do like the fact they added that, because you always used to have to farm up the medals to awaken your unit, and then you had to do the lower difficulty one once anyway just to get that stone. So I do like the fact that they added that. So then Virtual Dokkan Ultimate Clash, so there was a special revamp. I don't know, actually, was it a unique one? I think it was. Either way, Battlefield reset, even if it's not a unique one, if the Battlefield resets at this time, it's another 40 stones. Then we had a co-op campaign for 10 stones. That could obviously be slightly different this time, both in rewards and structure, but a co-op campaign seems very, very likely. Then we have a couple of events here that just gave 1 stone. New stages, I think they were just one-off things to get like orbs and stuff like that, so obviously you only get the 1 stone the first time you beat it. Then we had a couple of story events, so the Ruler of the Universe and the Warrior Race. We had the Legend of Super Saiyan Part 1, Emperor's Intentions Part 1, 9 stones and 10 stones respectively. Then we had the introduction of the Collection of Epic Battles event, which had missions. Obviously you get a stone for completing it the first time. I'm really hoping that this year they actually update this, because they introduced it last year and then have not done anything with it since then. And considering the art showed like all the major arc like villains, it's very weird that they never did any updates. Like we got Cell Saga for Golden Week, and they didn't add any like Cell Saga related stuff. So hopefully they are going to do something like that again. But even if they don't update Collection of Epic Battles, you can assume that this will just be replaced with some other new event, right? So then we had 1 Extreme Z battle. Obviously that could be any of the potential units that could get an easy A. 34 stones, because it's 30 for completing the 30 stages, and then they always come with missions that will give you an extra couple. Then we had an Extreme Z area for the Ginyu Force. Extreme Z areas give you 2 stones per character, and then there can be missions related to that as well. So this was for the first set of Ginyu Force units. Then we have Dragonstone Collecting Mission with 60 stones. First rank, so that was top grossing, 28 stones. Petan Battle gives you a few stones for like if you can collect all the cards. Now you might not necessarily get all of those, because I'm pretty sure one of the stone rewards is for getting every single card in the set, and there's still 1 set, I think it's like set 3 or 4, that I'm still missing like 1 or 2 of the cards, so you might not necessarily get all of these. And then the social media campaign for part 1. So in total, part 1 of the celebration gave out 377 stones. Now as long as part 1 usually encompasses the entire time that the banner will have the 3+1 multi-summons. So that's 150 stones for a full rotation of 4 multis. So if you get all of the stones out of part 1, that's giving you 2 full rotations, as well as like a couple of extra on top. So as long as you've saved up a few going in, like the ones we talked about at the beginning from the superhero login and stuff like that, all of the part 1 and countdown missions combined are going to give you enough basically to do like 3 full rotations on the new LR banners. So even if you're starting from 0 right now when you're watching this video, as long as you get all of the stuff done during part 1, you are going to be able to get a few summons. Then we went into part 2, so login bonus again, limited missions and daily missions, so quite a nice chunk there. Then we had the Bulma on Duty special mission. So this gave you, was it 10 stones a day for 13 days for like completing it, which was pretty awesome. Hopefully they do something like that again, because that is a huge chunk of stones just to get for doing a very, very easy mission in 2 weeks. Then new stage for other events. We had the Breakthrough Enemy Lines, which was like the Bardock, kind of like the punching bag, like nuke big damage event, which is pretty good. That was the campaign. The Breaking the Siege, I believe, was the actual event, because it was it 1 for each typing and then 10 stones max for each one, I believe, which would add up to the 50. Then we had some more story events. We have the Collection of Epic Battles extra missions that were added, because obviously there are multiple missions for the different stages. So again, really hoping that they add more to this. Then we had another Extreme Z battle for 34 stones. We had more Ginyu Force Easy A's, and then social media campaign. Now, This one's going to be interesting because I don't know if there's not like a set of free-to-play units like the Ginyu Force or Team Bardock that still need to get easy A's. So this could all very much be restructured with new free-to-play units and stuff like that. But we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, this isn't going to be a direct one-for-one copy, so any of the stuff that they change, the rewards will obviously change appropriately. So we might not get the exact same number in total, but they always try and spread these out in kind of the same way. And then part 3, so that was 332 for part 2, which is almost the same as part 1, and in total is like 700 stones. That's really, really good. Obviously, part 2 brings with it an LR banner as well, with 2 new LRs, just like the anniversary. So, a lot of units to be summoning for, but a lot of stones up for grabs. Part 3, we obviously have the login bonus, the missions, the daily missions. The Bulma event was still on during this. Then we had an extra, is it 30 stones 3 times? I'm not sure if this was missions or the closing stages of it. I actually don't remember. It was pretty crazy. A huge amount of stones out of this one event. So the number one, I guess, hope for this download celebration is they bring back this event, or at least a different reskinned version of it, because this was a lot of stones for free. And then, yeah, more Extreme Z areas. These were for the free-to-play units from Part 1. More Extreme Z areas for the free-to-play Ginyu Force. So, again, this is going to be something probably completely different. Then we had an LR EZA for LR Bardock. We had a chain battle, everyone's favourite mode. And then end of worldwide celebration. This was kind of like top grossing, but not really, where it was just like, hey everyone, thanks for a great celebration, here's like 30 extra stones. So that was 356. So 356, 332 and 377. So you can see pretty reasonable amount of stones given out in each part, which made the total for global 1,100 stones given out during the worldwide celebration. And on JP, I'm not entirely sure where the discrepancy is. So part 1 is 35, or the countdown is 35, and this was 35. Part 1's 377, JP was 379, so they got 2 extra stones somewhere. Now, JP used to do a lot more of these social media missions that Global don't do, although they had them here in Part 1. So I'm not really sure where the discrepancy comes in there. I could probably sit and look at this list for ages and still not notice it, but then Part 2 was 353 and Global was 332. So that's almost, yeah, that's 21 extra stones. Where are 21 extra stones coming from in Part 2 for JP? 3-day weekend special. Okay, so JP, it fell during one of those celebrations where they got the special weekend missions, but Global did not get those. So that's interesting. And then 356 for the last part, and that is the same. So JP actually got a little bit more overall, but that was because the weekend for the special weekend missions fell during the download celebration for JP, but not for Global. So potentially that could actually happen again. But either way, you're looking at 1,100 stones was the total as a bare minimum. Now this year, I can't imagine that if it's lower, it's not going to be drastically lower. It's definitely going to be over 1,000 stones, which for one celebration, all of that given out in one go for free, as long as you get everything done, is pretty damn good. So if you didn't see my tweet, or even if you did, let me know down below in the comment section, how many stones do you have right now going into the worldwide celebration? Which banner are you most excited for? I know we don't really know a lot about the details, but as a big Cooler fan, I'm obviously very, very hyped. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.